Well, the Taylor Swift experience is something that unfortunately not many of us get to experience, but I am speaking to a former Lloydminster resident who gets to go see the Eras Tour not once, but twice. Taylor Steinwant is here, currently living in Stony Plain, but from Lloydminster originally. Taylor, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
So you have two chances to see Taylor. You've already been to the experience in Toronto. You also have tickets for Vancouver, which is fantastic. So let's talk about the Toronto show first. What was that like? From what I could see in Toronto, the whole city was basically supporting her everywhere that you went. You couldn't get away from Taylor Swift. So how was that experience for you?
It was amazing. I love how the whole weekend was so Taylor Swift immersive. It wasn't just a show, it was, you got to meet Swifties right from when you landed to right when you took off and every single activity in between.
And I know she makes the show basically not just an event, but it's like a whole culture with the friendship
Mhm.
bracelets and trading and that sort of thing. So were you part
Yeah.
of that, making the bracelets and trading them as well?
Of course, yeah. I actually have my friendship bracelets here with me. This is just a handful of them. And yeah, so I started trading friendship bracelets right in the airport. And like I said, every activity. So we went to Casa Loma and I traded bracelets there all the way up until we left.
And now you took your mom to the show in Toronto. So how was that for her? Did she was she quite excited about that as well?
Yeah, so me and my mom, we've been going to the Taylor Swift concerts together ever since the Speak Now tour. And so it was really special to me that she was able to come just because it's something special that we share together. And we did matching outfits and we made friendship bracelets together and just really did the whole experience.
Is it quite unique to be there too? And does it feel, especially now at this point where she's gotten so big in her career, that it's
Mhm.
almost surreal to be at this event because there's, so many people and you're all just the same mindset? And do you almost, when you're watching the show, kind of feel like it's really hard to believe that you're there and being able to see this, like I said, not once but twice?
Yeah, it does feel surreal. You just have to take a moment to step back and just look around. She does this thing during the show where everybody has a bracelet, and there's certain times during the show that everybody's bracelet is lit up, and it's just kind of crazy to look around and believe you're part of that experience.
What was your favorite part of the show from Toronto?
Oh, that's really hard. I always love listening to All Too Well 10-minute version, but she does this certain segment of surprise songs, and the surprise song I really wanted was Peter, and she sang it. And I don't know how she knew, but she did.
What was
So,
it like getting access? I saw some people saying that you really had to go super early in order if you wanted to get in. Did you find that getting into
mhm.
the show in Toronto that there was a bit of a process, I guess?
Yeah, so we showed up around 4 o'clock, right when the doors opened, and there were lineups around every entrance. I found that getting into the venue wasn't too bad, but specific merchandise, like the blue crew neck, goes really, really fast. And even though I was there during right when the doors opened, we still couldn't get it. So, yeah.
And now you head to Vancouver for the next show. Who are you taking to that show? And what are you expecting maybe to be a little bit different in Vancouver? Or do you think it'll be quite similar to the Toronto experience?
Yeah, so I'm going with my best friend and my sister. My sister's Jordan, she's also from Lloydminster, and then my friend Mackenzie, she still lives there. I'm thinking that the show is going to be very similar. I think that the experiences around and what the city's doing is going to be different, but I think that the show itself, the energy, the trading friendship bracelets, the people, I think it's all going to be very similar.
Now, unfortunately, we've seen some news recently where people are getting scammed out of Taylor Swift tickets. And, a lot of these younger girls, you can just see them, their hearts are broken because they expected to go. So, what did you do to make sure that your tickets were secure for both of the shows?
So we just make sure that our passwords are changed every so often. We check on our tickets, and I really like that Ticketmaster made the option that tickets are secure in your account until 3 days before the show and you can't transfer them.
Oh, so going to Vancouver, if you had to pick something and you want her to sing the ultimate song at the Vancouver show, Taylor, what would you hope for at that show?
That's a really hard one. I love them all. She already sings my favorites. Oh, there's so many. You're on your own, kid, probably because it inspired the friendship bracelets, the line in there, and I think it would be really cool to see that live.
And will you also be getting dressed up specifically, in something for the this show, something different than what you wore in Toronto, or are you going with the same thing?
So I'm going to be wearing something different. In Toronto, we went Speak Now era, and then in Vancouver, I'm going to go Reputation era. So a little bit more black. I have snake tights, things like that.
Well, Taylor, I really appreciate you speaking with me today, and it's so exciting that you get to see both shows in Canada. Not a lot of people get to do that. So enjoy the next show in Vancouver, and thank you again so much for speaking with me today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for speaking with me. I was so excited about this.